So this is a follow-up to the previous video I made that I'll link in the related video thing for these shorts. That's something interesting. Like each of these platforms, like shorts have related videos. So it's almost like they design shorts to promote videos because of actually fascinating reasons. Because it takes YouTube so long to figure out what people even want to watch, because the videos are long form, because people don't watch the entire video, and because there's so many videos out there and all these reasons, it's very hard for the algorithm to actually figure out who's going to watch what. So in some sense, the way I consume videos based around creators. If I like someone's video, I'll go onto his channel, I'll see what other videos he made. I don't try to figure out what abstract subcategory of video what he made corresponds to and then look up other videos. So example, Ryan George. He's a comedy dude on Meta or YouTube. I watch him on Meta, but he might be on YouTube too. And when I see his video, I don't say, wow, I really like that comedy sketch. I'm going to look up, I'm going to go type into the search bar, comedians making skits with themselves. I don't do that. I just click on him and I watch his stuff. At some point, I might type in comedians doing skits with themselves, but I haven't done it yet, and I've clicked on a lot of profiles. So as a ratio of actions, very heavily skewed, and I'm one of the highest. I'm really high in trade openness. So if there was a weird out there action someone was going to do, I'd be the one to do it. So the fact that I haven't done that yet indicates that probably no one else ever will. Or at least that they will at such a low rate that it's a terrible strategy. So, given that, this might become, because I'm limited by the 3-minute time constraint on the thing, but I guess if it just keeps going, I'll just upload it as its own video, because, like, who the hell really cares? Yeah, I'll just do that. I'm not going to compromise my idea for the sake of making a short. What the hell's a short anyway, you know? I mean, it's just, someone just decided that videos less than 3 minutes are shorts. Actually, if you upload a video that's less than 3 minutes, it'll also show up in shorts. It does that sometimes. So, Instagram versus YouTube. And I'm talking about this as a business expert. I mean, come on, people. I'm reading Henry Ford. The mere fact that I've picked that book up makes me more informed than everyone with a Harvard MBA. You nepotistic Orientals of the West. It's because the Orient runs on nepotism. I'm just going to say whatever I think because I've realized that people aren't going to watch these things for like years. Like, they do, but this is weird. This is like the weird way that things go. So, YouTube, I go on YouTube because I'm bored. And then I look at stuff. I mean, this is how you have to think about business. This is really how you have to think about business. And I'll just be calm because no one's going to, whatever. But like, this is how you have to think about business if you actually want to get anything done. You have to start by understanding. I mean, first you got to just do a bunch of stuff because you have no idea what's going on. And it's like wrestling. You start wrestling, like just go get the absolute, it's like jujitsu. Like, why do most people who do jujitsu for a long time suck? This is just a thing. Like, most people who do jujitsu for a long time suck. I mean, they'll still beat up like everyone else, but as someone who's grappled for 10 years competitively, most people who do jujitsu for a long time suck at jujitsu. They're just really good at a few sub positions. So, why is that? Well, because they don't compete. That's it. Why do most traditional martial artists just completely suck and wouldn't beat their way out of a wet paper bag? Because they don't spar. Why are wrestlers the greatest fighters on the planet? Because they just fight a lot. So you got to just go through some shit in terms of, I mean, health, I think, too, in order to understand health. You got a lot of doctors out here who've never had health problems, which is a really weird thing. But enough on that. That's a completely different topic. So you got to just go through some shit if you want to learn how to fight, if you want to learn how to be an athlete, if you want to learn how to run a business. Like, if you want to become competent, you have to just go through. There's just a mountain of shit, and you got to walk through the mountain of shit. After you walk through the mountain of shit, you can then come up with ideas on how to walk through the mountain of shit better. The reason I'm disparaging of the NBA is because the NBA has not walked through a mountain of shit. Ford is also disparaging of the NBA because the NBA has not walked through a mountain of shit. If someone's business advice contradicts Henry Ford without beautifully and poetically incorporating and transcending his ideas, they are wrong and stupid, or at least poorly informed. Because you drive a car. Ford is the reason you drive a car. That's the reason. This is the reason you drive a car. And I think a lot of the Jews are really annoyed about that. I don't know if a lot of them are, but at least the Jews who run Family Guy are annoyed about that because they're like, oh, it's a Jew crushing machine. This man was not anti-Semitic. This man was, I mean, at least like in his works, he's not anti-Semitic. I mean, like, what did Ford do that was anti-Semitic? Like, did he say that he wasn't a fan of Jews? I mean, I'm kind of a fan of Jews, but like, if they keep reacting that way to anyone who says they're not a fan of them, then that would make me feel weird because, as far as I see it, they're just a very effective nepotistic group. It's an Oriental pattern, but it's fine. I mean, you need to have intense individualism, and then you need to have intense nepotism, and you have communication between these two poles, and that's the East and the West, and that's how the world works. If one of those poles starts trying to murder the entire other pole, I don't know. I'm not... Again, these videos, like, this is just becoming a documentation. Like, what is this video? What is the essence of this video? This video is me trying to explain the difference between Instagram and YouTube. But Instagram and YouTube are abstract ideas that gain inertia off of the dispersal of abstract ideas through a population of people, which is, again, it's abstract ideas, people consuming abstract ideas. And the reason you walk through the mountain of shit is because there's so much out there that you have to test things. You have to say, okay, like, what actually makes sense here? And you can observe other people, but you have to test whether or not the principles that you're deriving from the methods of your observation are valid. If you can do that, then you can validate your methods of observation and thus pursue the better methods of observation with more zeal. My children are now finding me. April, be quiet. I'm making a video, so I need you to be quiet while I make the video. Deal? Yeah. Good. Okay, thank you. Video will be done soon. So, that's what you have to do. So, what is YouTube doing? YouTube is trying to validate that... April, I just said you have to be quiet. Yeah. So, YouTube is trying to validate that people will watch this video, but they keep making more and more and more videos. There's more topics. It's just this infinite stream of stuff. So basically getting noticed on YouTube is impossible, but it does happen. So don't count on it in the next decade. Instagram is different. Instagram is not optimizing for long-term attention. It's optimizing for short-term attention. So Instagram, you can kind of just train the algorithm to promote whatever you want if you just post basically the same thing every single day. Literally, people have done this. You just post the same thing every single day and it'll just take off because someone wants to watch it, for the most part. And people are very, very, very lazy and they will not do anything. So people can literally be dying. They can know that they need to stop drinking Coca-Cola to not die. They can tell you that and then go drink a Coca-Cola after just saying that their wife and children will be alive. Like, people are scumbags. people are like lazy scumbags that will do anything to avoid being exposed as lazy scumbags. And most of the reason why they don't appear immediately as lazy scumbags is because the lazy scumbag part of themselves realize that if they looked like the lazy scumbags they were, they wouldn't be able to be as lazy or scummy. I say this as someone who's worked intimately with lots of people. There are good people out there, and there's goodness within people, but like when you're consuming high fructose corn syrup, it's hard to find. Just my experience. I've had other experiences, and I will contradict myself later because consistency is the hobgoblin of weak minds, and fundamentally I'm seeking a truth that cannot be reduced to the mouth utterances of a fairly conscious primate. So bear with me. Instagram, again, short optimizing. So this is sort of like, the difference is, as far as I see it, is I built a Facebook group to thousands of people, very engaging, and I stopped posting in the Facebook group. Immediately engagement goes to zero. You have to just build it up from scratch. I put the same energy into a YouTube channel and nothing happens. Did it for a year. Nothing happens. No one watches a single video. I mean, maybe like 3 people watch videos. I quit YouTube. Leave it up. 8 months later, a video gets 10,000 views. It's just it's just a different time scale I'm operating on. So with YouTube, it's like, should I be, and this is sort of where everyone screws up, is basically only the people who aren't lazy or even publishing content. Okay, I'm going to go upstairs now, girls, because you girls are making noise and I'm trying to make a video. It's cool, though. I was turning the light on because I'm trying to make a video, and I just want to make the video with only me talking. So basically, I lost my train of thought. Oh, there's my pants. So basically, it's the Tony boxes. Those things were on Shark Tank, and now I own them. I remember seeing those when I was in like 6th grade or something on Shark Tank. And now I have them for my kids, except it's just like the ghostly voices that never shut up. Gotta go find it. So, otherwise there's just fucking people talking all the time.
Handed one to...
Okay, I'm getting a little irritated because they're bringing their shit in my room, and I don't like that. Do not want them bringing their stuff in my room. It's really annoying. So what is this? What is this? I'm going to summarize this all, and it'll all be very entertaining and intelligent. So bear with me, because... I mean, why would I, someone who's experienced at online content creation, making a video of me walking around the house, cleaning up after my children? Well, because of the fundamental nature of the dispersal of information. What could I say about the fundamental nature of the dispersal of information? Probably quite a bit, actually. Let's find out. So, okay. There's no talking snowman in the background. Okay. Bump, 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 bump. That's one thing they don't tell you, is since you become the average of the 5 people you associate with most, if you have kids and interact with them a lot, you'll become more childlike, which makes you more happy. Is true. So, girls, quiet. I have left the room so that I can make this video. I do not expect to hear screaming from across the house. Especially when I just had to clean up your toys from my bedroom where they should not have even been. Thank you, April. I love you very much. We're going to go out soon. Okay. So, you got to be consistent as a parent. Like, consistency, you got to... Jordan Peterson, Maps of Meaning, guys, like, awesome for parenting. He really describes the psychology of it, and I don't really care. I mean, I'm not a child psychologist. I think child psychology is stupid because you're you're claiming to be an expert on the only people who can't contradict you. That's all I have to say about that. So, Instagram versus YouTube. So, given the fact that no one's going to watch your YouTube videos, like just get that through your head. No one is going to watch your YouTube videos. No one's even going to watch your Instagram content. Like, even of the people who watch your content, only like 10% of them or like 1% of them even look at the whole thing. So, given that, who's watching this? People who have, for their own reasons, become interested in the same ideas that I became interested in for my own reasons. So what's the limit of that? How do you draw the circle around my niche? I'm a human fucking being, and this is a magic scrying glass that I'm using to speak to the world through sorcery. That's your niche. If you're posting on YouTube, unless you're specifically trying to make brand relevant content that you're going to drive engagement to via meta ads. Interesting, isn't it? I just dropped a huge chunk of wisdom right there. Like that right there is going to be what everyone's talking about in 15 years. It's about as much time as it's going to take for these videos to start getting popular. That's fine, though. I'll be here in 15 years. I'll be waiting with even more content for the people who like it. It's like movies. After I watch a movie from a director, if I really like the director, I go find other movies that he's made. Some of those movies being 20, 30, 40 years old. So, Nietzsche, most influential philosopher of our time. Whether you realize it or not, future generations will. Largely completely ignored during his own time period. So how do the guy who invented the washing machine, I think, and the typewriter, died broke. So how do you bridge this? Like how do you solve this problem given the fact that you can move humanity forward in ways so profound that people can't even comprehend it, and yet die broke? Well, I guess you probably try to move humanity forward in ways that they can comprehend, because that could be the problem, is they can't comprehend how you're moving it forward. Well, the more comprehensible it is, the easier it is to copy. Here come the Orientals. It's not racist, they just do. That's why I make long form videos, because I'm just like, I'm going to say what things are because, I don't know, probably an idiot. They're probably going to kill me. I don't know. Like they killed Charlie Kirk and, whatever though, like everyone dies, but not everyone lives. That's really true. So, whatever. Instagram versus YouTube. Instagram's like the Tinder. YouTube's like the fuel. Really, I say books are the fuel. Really, having your own bloodline's the fuel. If you want to start a movement, create a coherent bloodline. So I am not envious of the Jews. I am a little envious of the Jews, but I'm not like salty about it. Like I'm like, look, they're just creating a bloodline that's trying to take over the world. I mean, like, come on, people, you're not trying to do this too? They're not even trying to take over the world that hard. If they were, they probably have succeeded already. I think what's much more likely is that there's just a small core of complete and utter psycho sociopaths that have been parasitically feeding off of whatever structures exist since the dawn of humanity. And if they latch on to the Jews, they latch on to the Jews. If we wiped out all the Jews, they just latch on to whatever wiped out all the Jews. Because they're probably way better at faking not being Jewish than they are at faking being Jewish or faking being whatever they need to do to get power because they're psychopaths. If I told this to I want to talk to Jewish people about this because I like talking to Jewish people about anti-Semitic ideas because they're actually really fun to talk to about anti-Semitic ideas. Like, have a respectfully anti-Semitic conversation with a Jew, or have a conversation that some idiot would think is anti-Semitic with a Jew that actually isn't, because you just want to talk about reality. And like, yeah, like it's not anti-Semitic or racist to notice things unless you're born a peasant. Like the book The Road to Serfdom by like F.A. Hayek. Like, I didn't find out about that book till now, till like this year, 2 years ago. He wrote that book like 40 years ago. Like so like even books, like even like the most influential books of all time, like let's say like How to Make Friends and Influence People. That book probably sells more and more every year, but it was written ages ago. So there's this sort of latency effect to information relevance. There's information, but then there's also like putting the information into practice, because there's also information that everyone knows that no one utilizes. Like everyone says health is wealth, but no one acts like it. I don't know. I mean, I think that like ultimately all ideas need to be refreshed by each subsequent generation, who must take on themselves the full burden of bringing into themselves the entire experiential memory of their ancestors and then acting it out in a coherent way that builds future coherent patterns for the ones that come after. And then there's things like YouTube and Instagram that promote ideas. But I mean, at the end of the day, like this thing we call business is really, business is just the place in life at which the exchange of money takes place. But it's life. It's no different than life. It's no different than the systems that produce life. And to think of it as separate is to commit the sin against the Henry Ford. Girls, I'm still making a video, so I still expect you to be quiet. Then go poop in the potty. That's what Ford did. He recognized the lack of fundamental difference between these things. I have many more videos on this topic on my channel, so go explore those if you find this interesting. But I want to... Ape Cadam, quiet, I'm making a video. So, I have many more videos I'm making on this topic, but I want to wrap this up with the YouTube, Instagram chat. Also, I feel so much more mentally with it because I've been consuming trace minerals. Oh my god, trace minerals. Got them from, like, Carlisle. I think Carlisle Trace Minerals. So... Okay, wipe your butt. Then just sit there quietly until I can wipe your butt, because I'm still making a video. And you have to learn to wipe your butt because you're 4 years old and it's about time you learned how to wipe your own butt. And if you don't want to do that, then you can sit there and wait patiently until I can do that. Deal? Oh, it was like a very sad yes, but... it's necessary. Like, I do actually need to make videos, and she actually does need to wipe her own butt, so it's reality. Anyway, so I want to wrap this up with the YouTube, Instagram. What's the difference between YouTube and Instagram? I would say the difference between YouTube and Instagram, or YouTube and Meta, is that you can actually drive, and this is what Meta is trying to do. Meta is making it so that you can drive engagement to a refined idea that is, you can drive engagement to a commodifiable idea via repetition or paid ads. YouTube, you can't drive traffic to YouTube in any meaningful way. You just have to like put it out there and just pray to God that people find what you're saying useful. And if they do, it's cool. If they don't, whatever. But you got to make the YouTube videos for you. Books are the same way. I think you could go out there and just write a bunch of contrived books and try to sell a bunch of copies, and maybe you'd succeed, maybe you wouldn't, but you would certainly miss the entire purpose of books. I think if you want to get a message out really, really, really quickly, you should make really cheap vodka and then put the message on the vodka bottles, because then they'll just end up everywhere because people litter. I am going to wipe my daughter's butt now because that is important, and I could probably keep on going on this topic. I certainly could, but April, shush. I don't really care if you want me right now, because you don't want me when I'm trying to teach you how to wipe your own butt. You just want me to wipe your butt for you, and I don't want to wipe your butt for you. I want you to wipe your own butt so that I don't have to wipe your butt every time you poop. And if you don't want to put energy and effort into learning how to do that like I know you're capable of, then you can sit there and wait for me. Parenting 101 right there. And I love my kids. I love spending time with them. They're legitimately a joy, because I'm just not like, I don't know. Infer whatever you want to infer from whatever it is. But basically, I have answered the question. I do enjoy my daughter's butt, and I go on about this forever. So enjoy this 27-minute long video.